There is a silent feeling that millions of people experience every single day, and most of them dismiss it as normal. It's a persistent sense of bloating, a frustrating irregularity, a feeling that your digestive system is constantly working against you. You might blame it on stress, a heavy meal, or simply getting older. But what if this discomfort isn't just a minor annoyance? What if it's a critical warning light on your body's dashboard, flashing insistently while you continue to drive, unaware of the potential engine trouble ahead? This feeling of being stuck and heavy is one of the most common yet misunderstood signals the human body can send. It's a quiet alarm that, when ignored for years, can lead to a cascade of issues that drain your energy, affect your mood, and diminish your overall quality of life. The most unsettling part is that the root cause is often hidden in plain sight, disguised in the very foods we are told are convenient and harmless. The consequences of ignoring this internal signal extend far beyond the bathroom. Think about the days you felt too sluggish and uncomfortable to enjoy a walk, or the social events you've dreaded because of unpredictable gas and bloating. This isn't just about physical discomfort. It's about a gradual theft of your vitality. When your gut isn't functioning correctly, it's like an engine trying to run on dirty, inefficient fuel. It sputters, it struggles, and it can't generate the power you need to live fully. Thousands of people accept this as their reality, believing that chronic fatigue and digestive upset are just an inevitable part of life. They don't realize that their body is in a state of low-grade, persistent struggle, a battle that consumes precious resources and leaves them feeling drained and irritable, without ever connecting the dots back to that simple initial feeling of being unwell from the inside out. But what if you could learn to understand this language? Your body is not your enemy. It is your most loyal ally, equipped with an intricate communication system designed to alert you long before a serious problem takes hold. The discomfort you feel is a message, a specific piece of intelligence sent from your gut to your brain, asking for a change. It's asking for help. The tragedy is that almost no one was ever taught how to interpret these fundamental signals. We learn to read books and maps, but we remain illiterate when it comes to the most important text of all, our own physiology. In the next few minutes, you are going to learn how to decode these messages. You will understand precisely what is happening inside your body when it feels bloated and slow, and you will discover the true reason why it's happening. A reason that has very little to do with age and everything to do with what you do every single day. This knowledge is not complicated, but it is powerful, and it has been overlooked for far too long. It's about reconnecting with the innate wisdom of your body. Before we continue and decode these signals together, take a brief moment to become part of this community. Please write in the comments where you are watching from in the world. It's truly inspiring to see how far this essential message of health can travel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell, because our mission is to explore the silent signs your body sends that nobody ever explains. Your small act of engagement helps this vital information reach more people who may be ignoring a critical warning without even knowing it. Now, let's begin the journey of understanding what your body has been trying to tell you. To understand what's truly happening, we must look past the surface symptoms and journey deep inside the body's internal world. Imagine your digestive system not as a series of complicated organs, but as a vast flowing river. For this river to remain clear, vibrant, and moving, it depends entirely on its current. This current is generated by two fundamental elements, water and fiber. When the flow is strong, nutrients are absorbed efficiently, and waste is carried away effortlessly, leaving you feeling light and energized. However, the modern diet, often filled with convenient but poorly constructed foods, has a tendency to weaken this current. It's like slowly damming the river, causing the flow to become sluggish and stagnant. The feeling of being bloated and irregular isn't a sign of age or weakness. It is the physical sensation of a river that has lost its powerful cleansing flow. When this internal river slows down, the consequences begin to build, much like silt and debris accumulating on the riverbanks. Waste material that should be eliminated promptly lingers for far too long within the intestinal tract. This prolonged contact allows for excess water to be reabsorbed, making the stool harder, drier, and more difficult to pass. This is the mechanical root of constipation. Furthermore, this stagnant environment becomes an ideal breeding ground for imbalance. Think of a pond with no fresh water flowing in. It becomes murky and unhealthy. In the same way, a sluggish gut creates an environment where discomfort thrives. The persistent bloating and gas you experience are direct results of this internal stagnation, a clear signal that the natural rhythmic transit system has been compromised and is struggling to perform its most basic function. The first missing element responsible for this slowdown is something our ancestors consumed in abundance, yet is often scarce in modern meals: dietary fiber. Fiber is nature's perfect intestinal broom. It's a type of carbohydrate that the body cannot digest, so it travels through your system largely intact. There are two main types that work in harmony. Soluble fiber dissolves in water to form a gel-like substance, slowing digestion to help you feel full and stabilizing blood sugar. Insoluble fiber, on the other hand, does not dissolve. It adds bulk to the stool and acts like a scrub brush, sweeping the walls of the intestine clean and stimulating the muscle contractions that push everything forward. Without enough of this broom, waste moves slowly and erratically, leaving behind residue and contributing to that feeling of being perpetually full and incomplete. But the story goes deeper than just simple mechanics. Your gut is home to a teeming, complex ecosystem known as the microbiome, trillions of bacteria that function like a hidden organ. It's best to think of this as an internal garden. In this garden, there are beneficial bacteria, the flowers, and potentially harmful bacteria, the weeds. The health of your entire digestive system and much of your overall well-being depends on the balance between these two. The flowers thrive on fiber-rich foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. These foods are prebiotics, essentially fertilizer, for your beneficial gut flora. When you feed them well, they flourish, producing compounds that strengthen your intestinal wall, aid digestion, and even support your mood. You will understand in seconds how this balance is so easily disrupted. The problem arises when the weeds in your garden get overfed. And what do these opportunistic microbes love to eat? They feast on simple sugars and the refined carbohydrates found in ultra-processed foods, the very things that are low in fiber. When you consume sugary drinks, white bread, pastries, and packaged snacks, you are directly nourishing the bacteria that produce excessive gas and irritating byproducts. This process, called fermentation, is the primary cause of that painful, trapped gas and bloating. Over time, this imbalance, known as dysbiosis, can lead to a state of low-grade, chronic inflammation in the gut lining. Major health institutions, like the World Health Organization, have increasingly warned that this kind of internal environment is a significant factor in long-term health challenges. This brings us to the true culprit hiding in plain sight: the prevalence of ultra-processed foods. These are not merely foods, they are industrial formulations, often packed with chemical additives, emulsifiers, and hidden sugars designed to be hyper-palatable and have a long shelf life. They may carry labels that say whole grain or natural, but a quick look at their long, complicated ingredient lists reveals their true nature. They are like a car with a beautiful, shiny exterior, but an engine designed to run on dirty fuel. They offer calories, but are stripped of the essential fiber and micronutrients your internal garden needs to thrive. Their consumption directly contributes to the slowing of your internal river and the overgrowth of weeds in your gut's ecosystem, creating the perfect storm for digestive distress. So the persistent discomfort you feel is not a random malfunction. It is a predictable outcome of a system being given the wrong fuel and tools to do its job. It's a slow river, an unswept floor, and a garden overrun with weeds, this isn't meant to cause alarm, but to bring clarity. For the first time, you can see the direct connection between what is on your plate and how you feel, day in and day out. This understanding is the most critical first step. It shifts the power back into your hands. Because if you are the one who has been unintentionally feeding the weeds, it also means you have the power to start nourishing the flowers. You are the gardener, and you can choose what grows in your internal world. Now that you understand the internal landscape, the river, the garden, the delicate ecosystem within, the path to restoring balance becomes clear. It is not a journey of harsh restrictions or complicated protocols, but one of gentle, consistent nurturing. Think of yourself as the patient gardener who, having identified the weeds, now begins the deliberate work of tending to the flowers. This process is about reintroducing the simple, fundamental elements that your body was designed to thrive on. It's about making small, intelligent choices each day that, when compounded over time, create a profound shift from discomfort and stagnation to lightness and vitality. The power lies not in a single grand gesture, but in the quiet rhythm of daily care, a rhythm that you can begin to establish today with your very next meal. The first and most powerful tool for this restoration is dietary fiber, nature's forgotten broom. Bringing it back into your routine doesn't require an overhaul, but rather small, intentional additions. It could be as simple as starting your day with a bowl of oatmeal topped with berries instead of a plain pastry, or choosing whole grain bread for a sandwich. Consider adding a colorful salad before your main meal. The raw vegetables provide a wonderful source of both soluble and insoluble fiber that prepares your system for digestion. A man in his early 60s found that simply swapping his usual bag of chips for an apple in the afternoon was enough to begin noticing a difference in his regularity. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Each fiber-rich choice is a direct deposit into your gut health, feeding the beneficial microbes and providing the necessary bulk to keep your internal river flowing smoothly. However, fiber has a crucial partner, and without it, your efforts can backfire. That partner is water. Think of fiber as a dry sponge. On its own, it can be dense and unmoving. But when you add water, it becomes soft, pliable, and expansive, moving gently through your digestive tract. If you increase your fiber intake without also increasing your hydration, you can inadvertently make constipation and bloating worse. The key is consistent, mindful hydration throughout the day. Start your morning with a large glass of water before anything else. Keep a reusable bottle with you as a visual reminder. The goal is to keep the stool soft and easy to pass, transforming the internal journey from a difficult, dry path into a smooth, flowing current. This simple pairing, fiber and water, is one of the most effective tandems for restoring digestive harmony. The next step is to gently awaken the system through movement. Your digestive tract is lined with muscles that contract in a wave-like motion, known as peristalsis, to push food along. A sedentary lifestyle can make these contractions sluggish and inefficient, contributing to that feeling of food just sitting in your stomach. You don't need intense exercise. A simple, consistent habit can act as the on switch for your gut. A 20-minute walk after your evening meal, for example, is a remarkably effective practice. It increases blood flow to your digestive organs and physically stimulates the intestinal muscles, encouraging everything to move along at its natural pace. This simple act helps prevent the stagnation that leads to gas and bloating, allowing your body to process your meal efficiently while you feel lighter and more comfortable. With these positive additions in place, the next logical step is to gently reduce the things that feed the weeds in your internal garden. This means becoming more conscious of ultra-processed foods. A simple rule to follow is to peel more and unwrap less. Prioritize foods that come from the earth over those that come from a factory. Start by reading the ingredient lists on packaged goods. If the list is long, filled with words you can't pronounce, or contains multiple forms of sugar and chemical additives, it's a clear sign that the product is designed for shelf life, not for your life. By choosing a baked potato over French fries or a piece of fruit over a cereal bar, you are making a conscious decision to stop nourishing the microbes that cause fermentation and discomfort, creating space for your beneficial flora to flourish. These habits do not work in isolation. They create a powerful synergy that amplifies their benefits. Imagine the combined effect. You start your day with water and a fiber-rich breakfast. You choose real food for lunch. You stay hydrated throughout the afternoon, and you take a gentle walk after dinner. Each action supports the others. The water you drink activates the fiber from your meal. The walk you take helps move that softened material through your system. And by avoiding processed snacks, you prevent the internal fermentation that causes bloating. This creates a virtuous cycle. A 58-year-old woman who adopted this simple framework described it as finally feeling in sync with her body. The constant battle with bloating faded, replaced by a predictable sense of calm and comfort that she hadn't felt in years. This approach is about reclaiming your body's natural rhythm, not forcing it into submission. It's a return to the basics of human health that have been proven over millennia. As you begin to incorporate these practices, you are not just alleviating symptoms, you are fundamentally changing your internal environment from one of struggle to one of harmony. The energy that was once spent dealing with digestive distress is now freed up for you to use in your life, to enjoy your family, pursue your hobbies, and feel present in each moment. You are remembering how to listen to your body's signals and respond with nourishing care. This is the foundation of lasting well-being, a feeling of lightness and control that radiates from the inside out. But even with the best intentions, there are common mistakes that can sabotage these efforts. As you embark on this journey to restore your body's natural rhythm, it's crucial to be aware of the common pitfalls that can subtly sabotage your progress. One of the most tempting traps is the allure of the quick fix. Faced with discomfort, many people turn to aggressive laxatives or trendy detox cleanses, hoping to forcibly flush the system clean. While this might provide temporary relief, it often comes at a high cost. These methods can be harsh on the intestinal lining and, more importantly, can create a dangerous dependency. Your gut muscles, designed to contract rhythmically on their own, can become lazy, waiting for an external chemical push. It's like using a high-pressure fire hose to clear a clogged pipe. It might work once, but it damages the pipe and does nothing to address why it clogged in the first place, leading to a frustrating cycle of recurring problems. The true path to a clean, efficient system is not through force, but through consistent, gentle support. The most powerful cleanse is the one your body performs naturally every single day, fueled by the simple combination of fiber and water. Instead of seeking an aggressive reset, focus on providing your body with the tools it needs to do its job. A simple accelerator to amplify this process is mindful chewing. Digestion doesn't start in the stomach, it begins in the mouth. By chewing each bite thoroughly until it is nearly liquid, you are mechanically breaking down food and mixing it with enzymes that initiate the digestive cascade. This simple act reduces the workload on your stomach and intestines, allowing them to absorb nutrients more efficiently and move waste along more smoothly. It's a small change in pace that sends a powerful signal of care to your entire digestive system. Another significant error lies in blindly trusting the marketing claims on the front of a package. The food industry is masterful at using words like healthy, whole grain, or high fiber to create a halo of wellness around ultra-processed products. A cereal bar or a loaf of bread might boast about its fiber content, but a quick look at the ingredients list on the back often reveals a different story. A long list of refined flours, various forms of sugar, and chemical additives designed to improve texture and shelf life. These components can feed the very microbes in your gut that cause gas and bloating. effectively cancelling out the benefits of any added fiber. This is why so many people feel frustrated, believing they are eating well, yet still experiencing discomfort, unaware of the hidden saboteurs in their healthy choices. The correction is to become a conscious consumer, focusing on the ingredient list rather than the flashy promises. A powerful rule of thumb is to prioritize foods with short lists of recognizable ingredients, things you could find in a kitchen, not a laboratory. To accelerate your gut's recovery, consider introducing a small amount of naturally fermented foods into your diet. A spoonful of plain yogurt or kefir, or a forkful of sauerkraut can act as a potent ally. These foods contain probiotics, which are live, beneficial bacteria that help to repopulate your internal garden with more flowers. By directly adding these helpful microbes, you actively support the balance of your gut flora, helping to crowd out the weeds and creating a more resilient and harmonious digestive environment. This simple addition works in perfect synergy with a fiber-rich diet. Perhaps the most disempowering mistake of all is succumbing to the myth that chronic digestive issues are an inevitable and normal part of aging. This belief can lead to a sense of resignation, causing individuals to accept daily discomfort as their unchangeable reality. The consequence of this mindset is inaction. When you believe a problem is unavoidable, you stop looking for solutions. You may dismiss the bloating, irregularity, and fatigue as just one of those things, failing to make the connection to your daily habits. This creates a self-fulfilling prophecy where the body's signals for help are ignored and the underlying imbalances are allowed to persist and potentially worsen over time. The truth is that while the body changes over the years, a life of digestive distress is not a predetermined fate. It is most often a reflection of lifestyle, not chronology. The simple correction is to shift your perspective from one of passive acceptance to one of active partnership with your body. Understand that your system has a remarkable capacity to heal and rebalance at any age when given the right support. A powerful accelerator to this process is managing your stress response through conscious breathing. The gut is often called the second brain because of its intricate connection to your nervous system. When you are chronically stressed, your body enters a fight or flight mode, which diverts energy and blood flow away from your digestive system. Taking just 3 to 5 minutes a day to practice slow, deep belly breathing can shift you into a rest and digest state. This calming practice soothes the gut-brain axis, reduces inflammation, and allows your digestive organs to function without interference, amplifying the positive effects of all your other efforts. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that the familiar heavy feeling of discomfort is simply gone. The day begins not with a groan or a sense of dread about what to eat, but with a quiet feeling of lightness and readiness. Meals are no longer a source of anxiety, but of nourishment and pleasure. The afternoon slump that used to drain your energy is replaced by a steady, sustained vitality that carries you through your tasks with ease. This is not a distant dream. It is the tangible result of consistently nourishing your body's internal ecosystem. By consciously choosing to feed the flowers and not the weeds, you initiate a profound shift. The internal river begins to flow freely again, and the daily battle with your own body subsides into a peaceful, cooperative partnership, allowing you to feel truly at home within yourself. This internal harmony creates a beautiful ripple effect that touches every aspect of your life. The energy once consumed by digestive distress is now liberated for you to invest in the things that truly matter. You find yourself saying yes more often, to a walk in the park, to playing with grandchildren, to a spontaneous evening out with friends, without the nagging worry of unpredictable bloating or discomfort. Sleep becomes deeper and more restorative because your body is no longer struggling to process a stagnant system overnight. You stand taller, not just because you feel physically lighter, but because you have regained a sense of confidence and control over your own well-being. This transformation is about so much more than digestion. It's about reclaiming the freedom to live your life fully, unburdened by a body at war with itself. The journey from chronic discomfort to balanced vitality is one of profound empowerment. It is the realization that you are not a passive victim of your body's whims, but an active participant in your own health. By learning to interpret its signals and respond with simple, nourishing care, you restore its innate intelligence. The mental fog that often accompanies poor gut health begins to clear, replaced by improved focus and a more stable, positive mood. This is the power of nurturing the gut-brain connection. You are not just fixing a symptom, you are fundamentally changing your internal environment from one of persistent, low-grade stress to one of resilience and harmony. This is the great benefit you were promised, a life where you feel lighter, more energetic, and truly in sync with your body's natural rhythms. As we conclude this journey of understanding, the power to create this change now rests entirely in your hands. The path forward is not about perfection, but about intention. It begins with a single conscious choice, so take a moment to reflect on your own daily routine. Looking at your habits today, what is the first small step you can take to better nourish your internal garden? Perhaps it's choosing to drink a glass of water before your morning coffee. Maybe it's adding a simple side salad to your lunch, or swapping a processed snack for a piece of fresh fruit. It could even be deciding to take a gentle 10-minute walk after your evening meal. The size of the step doesn't matter. What matters is the direction you choose to move in, starting right now. Remember that your body possesses a remarkable inherent capacity for balance and healing. It is always striving for wellness, and it responds with gratitude to every supportive choice you make. This knowledge transforms you from a passive observer into the primary steward of your own health. You have the ability to cultivate an internal world that is vibrant, resilient, and full of life. It's a journey of listening, learning, and responding with kindness. By embracing these simple, foundational principles of health, you are not just alleviating discomfort, you are building a future of greater vitality, clarity, and peace, one mindful decision at a time. The path to feeling better is paved with these small, consistent acts of self-care. This content is for educational and informational purposes only. It does not provide medical advice or treatment. The journey we have taken together is meant to empower you with a deeper understanding of how your body works, encouraging you to make conscious, informed choices for your well-being. However, these insights are not a substitute for professional medical guidance. For decisions about your health, especially if you have persistent symptoms or pre-existing conditions, it is essential that you please consult a qualified healthcare professional. They can provide a proper diagnosis and work with you to create a plan that is safe and appropriate for your individual needs.